Good morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Darwin. I'm at a library conference today and tomorrow, but because I know you have an awesome guest teacher, I'm not worried about you. I did want to pop in really quickly and show you a couple of things that I fixed and added to our HyperDoc from yesterday. So, without any further ado, let's take a look at what that will look like. So boys and girls, you will be logging on to your Google Classroom just like yesterday. Again, you're going to have a partner, so one person needs to log on to the Chromebook and log on to the Google Classroom, and you are going to go to third grade Campner Library Exploration, and you're going to click on Classwork. Now, here's that link to the HyperDoc. When you open it up, it will probably look like this, but you're going to click there. And there's the little thumbnail of our HyperDoc, and you're just going to click on that. All right, so we're going to let that open up, and here it is. So a couple of things I changed. I added the username and password to the BrainPop in case you have forgotten. It's right there to remind you, Abbott's Creek, and then password BrainPop. This is something new right here. Let me make this big again, because remember yesterday when I showed you all of the seeds that we have, all the seed options for what we can plant in the tower garden? Well, I took all of those seeds and I made a Google form. And so if you click right here, it will open up. Right there's your link. And it's going to take you to a Google form, which is just like Google Forms you've done for me before. But so here's your library class options, and here you see I've added pictures. So this is what it will look like after it has grown. There's the veggie options, choose one of those, and then choose one of the herb options. Whatever we get the most of is what we will plant for your classroom, and we will label it with what it is and your teacher's name, and you can watch it grow when you come into the library to check out books, and then when I have you again for class, we can look at it. So that is something that has changed. This one is a video that shows you how the tower garden works, a really great diagram of how the tower garden works. I'm going to come back to this one in just a second, so let's keep going. This is how people use the tower gardens and where groceries come from. This one is what do plants need to grow? That's a video. This is a video I love. I highly recommend you choose this one at some point today. This is the actual inventor of the tower garden, who created it and why he created it and what purposes it serves. This one is so cool over here. This one is a man who owns restaurants, and he uses the tower gardens on the top of roofs in New York City. And he grows salad and strawberries and all kinds of things to serve in his restaurant. This is a great fast speed video that shows roots sprouting in soil, which is pretty cool to watch. Here's a video game. Well, I say video game. It's a computer game that you can play where you have to add sunlight and water and not too much and try to keep your plants alive. So make sure you're not clicking on other links there, though. Make sure you're clicking on the link that does the game that looks like this thumbnail right here. And then here's a Wonderopolis about what plants need to grow. All right, so let's go back up to the top. The Padlet. I have fixed the Padlet. Let's click on that. There's the link. And I've made it where you can add things. So I am going to delete these really quickly because I'm going to demonstrate for you. So here we are. The first column here says questions. What do you wonder about the tower garden? So this is your chance to ask any questions you want. Yesterday you were asking amazing questions. This is your chance to put them on here. So let me just demonstrate how that works. You're going to click that little plus sign for add. You're going to type your name in the title, and then you're going to click on write something, and you're going to write your question there. I wonder why, or how, or if, something like that, okay? And then when you click over here on the grass, now your question is there. I'm actually going to be looking at these from my conference, and so I may come down here and add a comment, and you can add a comment on your friends also. Make sure we're using kind words. Mrs. Darwin can see it. Everyone can see it. So, of course, you're using your best online manners. And then over here, this column is discoveries you have made while you're on the HyperDoc. So if you're on the HyperDocs and you're learning something from a video or one of the links, just click here on that little plus sign. Again, type your name, whatever your name is, and then write your discovery. Write about your discovery here. I'm looking for everybody to have at least one question and one discovery on the Padlet before this class is over, okay? So, back to the HyperDoc. Boys and girls, I know this is really fun. It's a really neat experience. You do not have to go in order. You can pick whatever you want. Just make sure at some point you get over to the Padlet, like we just said, and make sure you vote. And then you can choose to do whatever you want to do in whatever order you want to do. Make sure, just a friendly reminder, make sure that if you're listening to a video, that your volume is loud enough that you and your partner can hear it, but you're not blasting your neighbor, out over there. And when it is time to clean up, listen to your guest teacher. Make sure you shut down the Chromebooks properly. They're going to need to go back in the cart, and they're going to need to be plugged in so they can charge for the next class. So that's about it. I can't wait to hear how great you guys were for your guest teacher, and I will see you when I get back to school next week. I hope I come back with lots of fun ideas for us to try. I'll see you later. Bye.